The secret of the Ankh of our ancestors. The secret of the Ankh stores some of the most revered mystery systems of ancient Kemet. It led to what our ancestors of the Nile believed to be the God particle, or what has now come to be known as the Higgs particle in physics. The secret of the Ankh also reveals more about the infinity puzzle, where infinity, He, with its opposite nothingness, Heat, and NWN, dark radiation, with its opposite NWNT, antimatter, and the resultant matter, are analyzed in creation. Thus, the symbol of the Ankh is heavily encoded. From this perspective, the Ankh encodes not only the meaning of life, but the creation of life itself. This understanding speaks to the oneness of the Creator, summarized some 5,000 years ago by Kemet scholars on the temple walls of Hybis, the center of the southern El Khargay oasis, in a hymn to the Ba, in conjunction with the Ka, of Amun. What is the secret behind the Ankh? The secret of the Ankh is a bold and refreshing view in Egyptology, and the understanding of the scholarship of our ancestors. The current definition of the Ankh has not been challenged or expanded since its appearance in the Western world. The records show that our ancestors believed that the Ankh exists prior to creation, during life, during the time of transition, and in the afterlife. The failure to see the Ankh with this expanded definition is itself a kind of paradigm blindness. Equally important, the religion, history, spirituality and the philosophy of Kemet stood on this cosmological understanding of the Ankh. The Ogdoad, or the Eight, or the Hu, or the Infinities, or the Chaos Gods are aspects of the Kemetic cosmology based on the philosophy of the Ankh. But the Ankh does not appear until after creation, in which the life of the creation god is Ta, or as Amen becomes whole. When the created deity is born in Nun, or the Ogdoad combines with the Nun, then the symbol appears. The symbol of the Ankh is the Kemet representation of the God particle, or the Higgs particle. This may come as a surprise to Egyptologists in the West. But that sentiment is fully understood within the African academic circle as only one of nonchalance. For that reason, the explanation of the secret of the Ankh, while effortlessly fitting into the existing African paradigm already in place for the explanation and the comprehension of Kemet, may require a complete paradigm shift in the West. A paradigm, in this sense, is a system of rules and regulations that does two things. First, set limits or establishes boundaries, just like a pattern sets the edges. Then, offer guidance on how to be successful in solving problems that exist inside these boundaries, that is, offer a model for problem solving. The paradigm in explaining away the secret of the Ankh should become the new problem-solving system for Egyptologists the world over, and anyone who does not comprehend this fully will suffer from paradigm blindness, that is, an inability to see change because existing rules preventing the sight and truth of reality or the future. The secret of the Ankh as a paradigm solves a set of problems in the field of the study of Nile Valley civilizations, all of which are African cultures. There are few, even in Africa, who claim that they belong to some mystery system and act as if this is some special preserve of cults. If our ancestors in Kemet did not want the common people to understand the laws of order, Mat, they simply would not have written them down on everything they could: walls, paper, cloth, statues, stone and wood. For that matter, consider this quotation on the temple walls of Hybis: "You are Amun, you are Atum, you are Khpri, you are Re. Sol, one who made himself into millions, Tatanan, who came about in the beginning. You are the one who built his body with his own hands, in every form of his desire. You are the great winged scarab within Nut, who protected a heaven and earth in their entirety, while rising from none within the primeval mound. The Ogdoad rises, for him in jubilation when he appears, they seeing by means of his His first manifestation as Horus who illuminates, whose entire circuit is in the spitfire and torch fire of his eyes, having illumined the circuit of heaven with his great double plumes. Our ancestors' writings show that Kemet knew of only one creator, though they acknowledged several names. The writings point to the well-documented fact that the creator arose out of the primordial ocean in which lay the secret of the Ankh. The concepts explored on the walls of Hybis summarize as follows. 1. The Ogdoad primordial eight are the elements that created the divine creator according to Kemet. This is taken from one of the oldest cosmologies, of Hermopolis or Khmnu. 2. Aspects of this story are used in the creation of Ta, Ra, Amen, Aten and in the other creation stories. These all deal with just the creation of the Creator, not with what existed before creation. 3. The symbol for the Ankh is the symbol with the circle on top of the crosshairs, followed by the MDUNT sounds of N and KH. 4. From the breakthroughs of translations we know the symbol was pronounced NKH or Ankh. The A is disputed and may have been added for convenience of pronunciation. Even if the Ankh is a triliteral, at this point there is no definitive way to show how it was pronounced. 5. If we return to the Ogdoad, the 8 pairs are Amen, Amnet, Nun, Nunuet, Kek, Kikhe, He and Hiet. The theory is that the symbol took the names of the Ogdoad into consideration for its pronunciation. One must remember first that the MDUNTR is in fact the sacred words of the NTRS or deities. 6. The Ankh not only is a symbol of life but the elements that create life. These elements are the Ogdoad and the Odgod is essential for life. The symbol Ankh is connected to the Ogdoad and it is believed to get its name from the Odod. Thus, wherever the Ankh is translated in ancient Kemet literature it must be retranslated with the following insight: the Ankh is the life code. Kemet's infinities or chaos gods, Amen Amnet, Nun Unit, Kike, Kukle, Hehiet, the Ogdoad. The meaning of life in ancient Kemet was not just a flat definition but a multidimensional definition of the scientific and spiritual, of how life was created by itself. In the same way as time is usually used as the fourth dimension in combination with the 3 dimensions of direction, Kemet scholarly work combines the spiritual with the physical in order to arrive at a cosmological conclusion. At first glance, it may appear that the proof of the secret of the Ankh might come from phonetic inspirations alone, as much as it might not come about with linguistics entirely. But linguistics have some important bearing. The secret of the Ankh can be approached in 2 ways that lead to the same result. First, the Ogdoad, the primordial 8 and how these elements resolve themselves into life. And second, the MDUNTRU symbol for the sound N, which represents a wave, and then the MDUNTR symbol for the sound KH, which represents matter. These are key elements of the symbol of the Ankh or NKH. Wave plus matter, to our ancestors, produces the elements of life or the God particle. We can appreciate that ancient Kemet was both scientific and spiritual. The mystery system of Kemet is also both scientific and spiritual. To begin self-mastery of Kemet's systems of knowledge and of knowing, one must understand how everything began first. A child in ancient Kemet, for example, would have been told the creation stories and would have grown up understanding science and spirituality, both at the same time. Whereas an African child in the diaspora today is taught one of the major Western religions and later learns science and has to juggle between the 2 for comfort, or for discomfort. Perhaps, herein lies the key to reorientating African thought, practice, spirituality, redemption and self-mastery everywhere in the diaspora. Furthermore, examining other aspects of Kemetic thought reveals more about the Ankh as well. Take for example the oldest creation story, Hermopolis, Khmu. The creation story has both Mart and Ehutai living in Khmu, which translates to the City of Eight. In the City of Eight, Khmu, Mat and Ehutai were four pairs of deities, both male and female. This is called the Ogdoad by the Greeks. Mart is said to be the mother of the eight. Tehutai is her husband or consort. The names of the eight were Nununut, Hay and Hiet, Amtan Ku, Kukle. They were associated with qualities such as the primordial mass, infinity and its opposite, hidden forces and its opposite and darkness and its opposite. The goddess Mart and Tehutai on the far right images of the Ogdoad in Kemetic representations. From the Nile Valley text, you, the eight have made from your seed a germ, and you have instilled this seed in the lotus, by pouring the seminal fluid. You have deposited in the Nun, condensed into a single form, and your inheritor takes his radiant birth under the aspect of a child, 8:6, 11-12, and Esnavi. Coffin text spell 76 names the four pairs, and connects the Ogdoad with some of the Enid, OU8 chaos gods, keepers of the chambers of the sky, whom Shu made from the efflux of his limbs, who bound together the ladder of Atum Imshu, whom Atum created, from whom Ra came to be. I was not fashioned in the womb, I was not bound together in the egg. I was not conceived, but my father Atum spat me out together with my sister Tifnat. The baby of Ra was that from which Atum came to be as Hay, chaos, Nun, the watery abyss, Kek, darkness, Tenum, gloom, substituted for Amun in this verse. On behalf of Sherry Plaza, thank you. Please subscribe. And, come again.